Louisiana Congressman and House Majority Leader Steve Scalise joins me. Good evening, sir. And just so that I have this right, what the House passed, basically, when you call it a clean CR, it just means that just what they had before, you're going to keep until November 21st. It's basically like a continuance in court, is to give you until November 21st to work things out. Is that what this is?
That's exactly right, Greta. It's no changes, no new things, no taking out things that we don't like. It just keeps everything status quo till November 21st, so we have more time to negotiate our differences. And believe me, our differences are very wide between Republicans and Democrats, but you can see they have been hell-bent on getting funding, taxpayer funding for healthcare for illegal aliens, and that's why they shut the government down. Maxine Waters even confirmed that yesterday. So they have made it clear why they want to shut the government down because of things that are not in the bill that we voted on. 99% of Democrats voted to shut the government down in the House. That bill's in the Senate. They can vote today to open the government back up. If they don't like how Donald Trump is conducting a shutdown, look, the law going back to 1870 gives the President of the United States more power during a shutdown. That's the law that's been on the books for over 100 years. Democrats are voting to give Donald Trump more power, ironically. Those the same Democrats, Schumer, can vote to take that power away from Trump by voting to reopen the government, but he refuses because he wants a shutdown so he can fund illegals' health care. It's a non-starter, Greta.
You know, I do not know the wisdom of fighting this by the Democrats because it's just the status quo until November 21st. Then you can have a knockdown, drag-out fight. But as you noted, is that the president has got to take the amount of money that he has that's been appropriated and try to run the government for essential employees versus non-essential, and it opens a door for him to furlough people and even to fire people, eliminate jobs, which is what he and Elon Musk seemed to want to do in the beginning of the term with Doge. So now he just has the ability to eliminate those jobs and get what he believes to be the bloat. So it's almost as though the Democrats handed him a win.
Yeah, they did. I mean, this is insanity on Chuck Schumer's part, malpractice really on Chuck Schumer's part. You know, Schumer complains that he doesn't like the fact that Donald Trump was elected president. He's still angry, and his far left radical base, who he's trying to appease, is angry with the results of the election in November. And so what is their answer? To shut down the government and give Donald Trump more power. The law's been clear for over 100 years, even during the Obama shutdown in 2013. Obama got more power. During this shutdown, President Trump is the president. He gets more of the power of the purse to deem what's essential and what's not. The only way you take that power away is by reopening the government. And Chuck Schumer has that ability, if he votes yes on the Senate floor today, to do that.
Well, let's say hypothetically that he did decide to do that and that the CR is as is until November 21st. Can you tell me what the fight would be November 21st? Where would be the disagreement? What would happen then?
I mean, frankly, if you look at it, it's supposed to be, Greta, the 12 normal appropriations bills that fund government. The House Appropriations Committee has passed all 12 out of committee. The Senate's passed a lot of their bills out of committee as well. And so there are differences between the two. And normally you would have a negotiation over the differences between those bills with Republicans and Democrats. That was actually happening. And there is a conference committee. A lot of people really haven't seen a conference committee, but it's going on right now on those bills. And that all stops during a government shutdown. And so if Chuck Schumer votes to reopen the government, and then this tantrum that he's having, then we can get back to a negotiation on the differences on those bills and get normal government operations open again.
But in light of the schism between the Republicans and Democrats, even if it did get continued to November 21st, is that there'd probably be a shutdown on November 21st. I mean, you know, there wouldn't. I don't know where the magic dust is to get at the Republicans and the Democrats to agree on anything between now and then.
Yeah, they're going to have to drop this crazy demand that illegals should get health care for free. I mean, look, the American people don't want that. And if you look at what we did in the one big beautiful bill, the working families tax cut, we put verifications in place to save taxpayer money from waste, fraud, and abuse. And there was hundreds of billions of dollars. Everybody knew it was going on in all parts of government. One of the areas was in verifying whether somebody's here legally. They're not supposed to be getting taxpayer-funded benefits on things like Medicaid. And yet, Biden had gotten rid of those verifications. We put them back in place so that illegals could not get free health care. They want to restore that. They want illegals to get taxpayer-funded benefits, and that's not where the country is.
Is that the only? I mean, is it just people who are undocumented illegal aliens, or are other American people who have health care through Obamacare, would they lose benefits as well?
There's differences on problems of Obamacare. Look, I mean, they called it the Affordable Care Act. Its prices are 80% higher for families today than when Obamacare passed. So it's not affordable, but that's a whole separate debate. And so, Greta, there are things that expire that Democrats, by the way, set to expire in December. That's not supposed to be part of the government funding debate. You know, government funding goes through September 30th. There are other things that expire in December that we can have separate debates on. The Democrats and Chuck Schumer are trying to bring those debates into this government shutdown debate and create another set of arguments. At the end of the day, stop holding hostages. If you want to have a debate on all of this stuff, whether it's government funding, our defense priorities, border security, or healthcare, we can debate all of those things, but not while the government shut down, not while Chuck Schumer is holding our military pay hostage, Greta.
Well, the Democrats say it's not just the funds for the people who are illegally here in the country, but that also they do want to extend the benefits for those who are American citizens here legally who will lose their benefits at the end of this calendar year.
It's primarily insurance companies that they want to bail out. The bill that they're talking about, these Obamacare tax premiums, those are subsidies that the Democrats put in place. And by the way, the Democrats set them up to expire. We didn't do that. Democrats set them to expire because they said they were temporary. So if they thought they should be needed forever, why didn't they create them to be forever? They set them up to expire, and they set up people that are making $1 million a year to get them. They did a lot of other things. That would be a $400 billion new set of spending, Greta. $400 billion in new spending. That's not where we need to be right now, is talking about spending hundreds of billions in new spending. Let's talk about getting spending under control, lowering premiums for families, which, by the way, when they bailed out the insurance companies, the Democrats, premiums went up for families, went higher. Why would we want to renew that and make families pay more for health insurance? So if we want to have a policy discussion about how to lower premiums for families, let's go. Not during a government shutdown, but it's not also about subsidizing hundreds of billions more to health insurance companies.
House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, thank you as always, sir.
Great being with you, Greta. Thanks.
People think news just happens. It doesn't. It happens because there's someone there to capture the moment, to explain it and share it. That's my job. I go where news breaks and give you the facts. Join me for The Record on Newsmax.